What is up, boys? It's your boys. What happens when you wear too many ties and the afterbirth that comes from it? Back
Hmm.
at you, coming
Many
at you
ties.
live via recording. We're gonna read some One Piece. 1161 just dropped. I'm John. He's Patrick. We're from Obscure
Well,
Reference. We're gonna read some One Piece now.
yes,
Starting off with a
sir.
beautiful color spread. Um, Looks like Chopper's gotten himself stuck in a claw machine, and Usopp's trying to free him, and Luffy's just trying to
Oh my
collect
god.
all the collectibles, and all the collectibles are just little plush characters from One Piece. It's great. You got Gaimon, you got the Don, Makito, everybody's here.
What I love about it, because this I saw this when the scanlations dropped. I'm looking at it closer now, but like
Mm.
Luffy has like all of his like family pretty much,
Yeah,
and
and
Whitebeard's there too for
Whitebeard
some
for some
reason.
reason.
Um, but you see Sanji's holding a bunch of women. He's getting mad at Zoro for, sleeping on the Shirahoshi plush, and you have Mihawk right next to him, and
Hmm.
Boa's reaching out for Luffy. Um, I didn't notice before. Brooks imitating the claw. I think he's trying to
Mm.
help get Chopper out. That's really cute.
See, I thought he was the claw. I didn't see that the claw was back there. So yeah, I love that he's just also in there.
Jinbei's just sleeping. He's just chilling. But yeah, there's a lot of little things in here that I really appreciate. This might be one of my favorites in a while.
Where's Hancock?
Right below Luffy's right knee.
Oh, the little doll Hancock is grabbing for him. I do like that. Oh, it's adorable. Yeah, good color spread. Good color spread. Good color spread.
So
Jumping
it's got
into it though,
the
time for the chapter.
Yeah. So did we?
1161, a
Oh,
song of love bound under a hail of arrows. Ooh la la. Starting off with Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 43, Where the Heroes Sleep. Oh, they
mm,
buried Pedro there. It's Kazuki Odin's grave. You got
oh,
Mar, Izo. I gotta zoom in to get some of these. Kazuki Toki. That's red herring right there. Otaka. Ashura Doji. Shimatsuki Ushimaru. Ah,
makes sense.
Yasui.
Almost talking.
That's
Oh,
nice.
Uzuki, Tempura, Omusubi, and Ushimaru with Yamato in the cave when she was a
Yes,
child.
yes, yes, yes. That's who them's is. Why'd they
We
only
have a
bury those
Kurz.
guys now? That was like years ago.
I don't know. I mean, Pedro was like a week before this, so I don't know.
Also, he is
Who's
unrelated entirely.
completely? I mean, if you want to throw in that Nekomamushi and Inuarashi are also scabbards, I mean, there's that. But I mean, who is this Kurozumi behind Yamato's right horn? What's that about? This is where heroes sleep, right?
But why
Oh,
cover anyone up?
he
Like,
froze on me.
why cover anyone up? They're dead. Like,
Or are they?
is there somebody we're not don't have death confirmation on?
I'm just trying to figure out what if there is a good Kurozumi aside from Otama. You know,
Moria.
that's where I'm at.
Yeah, he froze up on me. I don't know why that's happening so much recently.
Yeah.
Okay, starting the chapter. Let's get into it, boy.
Mm-hmm. Where's the page turning? There we go. I remember. Did we read the last chapter
We did
together?
not. We did not.
Mm. So I believe what happened. God Valiant started going down. Dragon shot a celestial dragon and was trying to take Shanks and Shamrock out of here. Yeah, that was the gist of it. I think there's other stuff. Go read it. You should know. You're here anyway. Many figures converged on the island, bearing their individual goals and desires, turning God Valley into an inescapable battlefield of nightmares. We see some Navy soldiers talking to some celestial dragons. Please, my lord, leave the island through the evacuation tunnel. Not yet. I wanted that prize. We'll be responsible for bringing it with us. Responsible? You'll be held responsible for depriving us of a good time, you bungling fools. And you see some of the rabbits saying, maybe this is our big chance. Let's use the chaos to find us a boat. We see Roger, Rox, and Garp. Roger is screaming, "Where's Shocky? She better be unharmed." And Rox is running around thinking to himself, Eris, Teach, where are you? And we have Garp here saying, "Where are you, Roger?" So yeah, a lot of one track minds right now, all thinking about different things. We see Dragon here carrying Shanks and Shamrock. Just hang in there a little longer. Which way are the Navy ships? And he sees some fighting off the distance. Pirates! This is the wrong way. And then we see, I believe this is one of the Holy Knights.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've ever gotten a name for them, but they're saying, oh, it's a she, I believe. But she's saying, found him. It's a sailor carrying a baby. And shoots a beam from her mouth through Dragon's right shoulder. And oh, here's a okay, hold on. There, got him. And you hear over the transponder still, "You saved my life, Maffy. Garling was going to kill me, I'm sure." And the babies are on the ground crying. Dragon's just, smoking. And this Maffy person grabs a baby, and they're screaming, "Garling has a kid. Who'd have thunk it? Can't imagine who'd want to kidnap the brat." And you see Dragon is on the ground. He's reaching out. He's like, "No, wait. Don't take those babies. They're the only way I can atone for being a part of this sick, murderous game." And Maffey's got his sword right above Dragon's neck. "So long, young man." And he's thinking to himself, well, considering all the people who have died, I guess I deserve this too. And whoa, you just see a huge, like, massive, like, slice go through the forest, slicing Maffey out in half, as well as a bunch of trees as well. And we see Whitebeard and Linlin, they're arguing. And he's like, "No, I wasn't aiming for you. That was an enemy I cut down. How many pirate crews are on this island by now?" And Linlin's like, "Liar, I almost died there. Do we need to settle our score? Now's the time." And Dragon's just hiding behind a rock, and he's like, "Oh shit, what the fuck? Who are those enormous pirates? What the fuck?" You see Shiki floating up behind Whitebeard. "Hey, Newgate, were you trying to kill me, you rat?" "Shiki." And Kaido's running up to Linlin. "Hey, Linlin, you lied to me." "Kaido?" And you see a bunch of other pirates. "It's the Rocks Pirates. Take him down and we'll be famous." "What? Hold on. Do they think they deserve to win Shaki too?" They all lock in for like a second of teamwork. They're like, "Go back home and get in bed, you miserable weaklings." You get a really cool panel here of, the whole crew, Linlin, Kaido, Whitebeard, Shiki, like just in a circle. They've got each other's backs for like a second. I dig this. Let me see, Maffey's still holding the baby. What's happening to this island anyway? The Dragon's, on the ground. Now I've got an opening to escape, but she's got the babies. Huh? And we see what I can only assume is Shanks on the ground with a big goose egg on his head and X's on his eyes. Which feels right for Shanks, I don't know. But we see Garp sees an explosion. I sense a big catch up ahead. Found myself a first-class fishing spot. And he jumps down and then lands a massive punch, like right neck behind Kaido, Linlin, and Whitebeard. "Now come quietly, you Neptunians." "It's Garp. Runner will be stuck here forever. Aren't we going to fight him?" "No, forget it." "Zeus, Prometheus." "Yes, Mama." And you see Dragon, he's kind of shocked. He's like, "Dad?" And Linlin's like, "Heavenly Fire Blitz," and she's shooting, Prometheus and Zeus are going off. Everyone's like, "It's Vice Admiral Garp." And yeah, we cut to Ivankov and Kuma, because remember, they're here too. Who did that? What was it? Anyway, this is our big chance, Kuma. Kuma's just like, yeah. Oh, shit. Next panel, Garp is all burnt up and, black, he's shaded up to high heaven, but his eyes are glowing white. And he's like, "You call that fire, Linlin? You couldn't cook prime rib with this." Linlin's just sweating bullets. She's like, "Damn it." We cut back to Maffey with Shamrock. "Well, the kidnapper's gotta be dead now. Baby's safe and sound too. Is that good?" "Baby's safe and sound? Perfect. Come back before Garling finds out." I'm so sorry, I might not be able to rescue your brother, but at least I've got you. And then, yeah, Dragon and Shanks are making their way out. And we see this other holy knight. They've got a gun. They're like, you thought you could take advantage of the confusion to escape. No one gets out alive, resident or pirate. Just guns a bunch of people down. Excuse me. Reporting in, sir. The Rocks pirates are coming from the southeast of the valley. The Roger pirates are inbound from the northwest. We're about to be stuck between the two. You just hear a scream, we're taking Shacky back. That's Roger. Defend the spot with your life. The treasure hasn't been hauled out yet. The Rocks pirates are coming from the other direction. And we see the Rocks pirates. I'll save her first. No, me. Get off. We're here to rescue you, Shocky. Turn the page, and we see. You made sure to escort Shakuyaku out, right? St. Summers. Well, what? St. Summers. And he just walks into a room, and Shacky's still chained to the wall, but we see a bunch of Navy soldiers just on the ground. One's half in a wall. And he's like, you're kidding me. You can't handle one woman in handcuffs? And Shacky's like, it sounds like there are lots of pirates causing trouble out there. And Summer's just like, ugh, I hate a woman who knows her own worth. He walks up to Shacky and he slaps her. You're better when you're naive. She kind of like wobbles over for a second and then lands a big back kick on his shoulder. And he's just like, yow! He kind of no-sells it. Grabs her by the ankle and then hits her with a big old club with thorns on it. She's on the ground for real this time. And he's like, that's right. All those pirates are here to steal you back. You're in high demand. So high that it's ruined our big day. But alive, you're only going to wind up with Garling. So the more emotional choice is to kill you and make sure no one can have you. Man, they've come from far and wide to rescue you. When they finally get here, battered and bruised, they'll find their beloved brutally slaughtered. I wonder how they'll react to that. And you see Roger and Whitebeard clashing. Everyone's fighting just to get to the center of the island. Shacky, I'm here for you. Are you here? Are you okay, Shacky? I'm coming to save you now. Look, it's me. Here I am. Yeah, all these people are trying to take credit for this. Roger's like, damn it, I can't get through. You gotta get Shacky. And we see Rayleigh taking point, splashing ahead. And Summers is like, can you hear that? They're right behind us. But they'll be just a second too late. St. Summers, I don't think St. Garling would approve. Shut up! If you don't say anything, it goes in the books as an accident. Just look at her face. The light of hope has finally gone out. This ain't no fairy tale. If anyone comes to save her, I'll kill him. Reality is cruel. Yeah! I'll kill you in 5 blows, and with each bloody smash, you'd better regret the peace-saddled optimism that led you here. Huh? And we just see, behind him, we see Rayleigh all shaded out. I'll put the flowers on your grave to send you off. And Summers is turning around, but it's a little too late because Rayleigh just slams him into the wall. Spider Lily Steel. Yeah, he just, pancakes into the wall. Actually, no, he goes through the wall. There's a Summers-shaped hole in the wall. He's like, oh yeah. And he's like, Shacky. Sorry it took so long. I've come to get you. And you see Shacky just starts crying. Oh, Ray, you took too long. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to go through this. I was so scared. Never again. And you see Roger and Gaban are like, can you do this later, damn it? We've got Shacky back, boys. Take some treasure and let's get the hell out of here. Yeah. It's the end of the chapter.
It's a good chapter.
Good chapter.
Really, I don't know. I am continually disappointed by Summers in the fact that he just keeps getting his ass handed to him. And obviously, he's immortal and still has a trick or two up his sleeve. But you show up, you fucking punch him a few times, and then you can walk around him.
I like having him around because he's an asshole, they really amped it up this chapter, I think, and then having the payoff of Rayleigh come in and slam him into a wall. Like I think, yeah, he's still a threat. I'm not concerned about that aspect, but it is fun to see him just kind of be, taken down a peg or two anytime he starts acting up and really, pissing me off.
I feel like that defeats the purpose of him being an asshole. Like he feels so threatening and imposing, but he can only punch down. When you take him down, it's like taking down a child bully. Like okay, like
Yeah,
he's
that's
no
just
emu.
satisfying.
Stop fighting your kids' bullies, Patrick. I need some asshole at the top of the pyramid who's like, okay, you're an asshole and I can't do anything about it. So when I finally do something about it, it's satisfying, not just this routine. Oh my god, this guy again.
Well, I'm gonna push back because we've seen him do this, in present day at Elbaf, with the way he's torturing the kids and
Mm-hmm.
torturing Robin and stuff like that. So, like, I think this is definitely a much more condensed version of that. Because obviously we can't spend like three whole chapters building up, oh, Summers is beating up Shaggy while everyone's trying to
But,
rescue her. Like that
but yeah, but
doesn't work for this kind of flashback.
you've got Rayleigh come in and one shot him. Modern day, you've got an older Gaban ready to one shot him, and the only reason he doesn't is he was holding his child hostage. But
Hmm.
he's not a threatening presence. Why did we send him in?
Yeah. No, I
I
guess you
I
do.
like
That
him.
is
I
a
do
fair
like
point.
him. I like his whole like kicking a tree with a child up it to make him fall into thorns. I like the
Hmm.
nothing sounds more beautiful than a parent's scream of agony when you've murdered their kids. Like he's got a lot of fun character there. Like it's fun to hate him. I just wish he was actually threatening and not just easily tossed around.
Sure, sure. And I imagine it's hard to say because like we're still, probably about maybe a little less than halfway through this arc, but I think we'll see more of him. That'll show why. Because yeah, it is odd that like for all we've seen of him, it's you're meant to believe that like yeah, he's just as big a threat as like Gunko or
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gunko thoroughly terrifying. Shamrock
he's
terrifying.
done some cool shit with it, but
But
mhm.
how much more impactful would it have been to see Gabon go up in the modern day, doesn't beat him? Robin tries to throw him off a cliff, but he hangs on. He comes back up. He, 1v1s or no diff.
Mhm.
And then flashback. Prime Rayleigh, this guy does not stand a chance. You came between him and Shockey, and he just, bam, takes you down every peg that you've set yourself up.
Mhm.
But no, I fully expect anybody can come in here and piss in his face.
Mm, I think anyone over a certain caliber, I don't think
Yeah,
Usopp
okay,
could.
not anyone, but anyone
Yeah.
who you'd expect to be fighting him.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it is, I think it's Summers having his cake and eating it too. Like, clearly he's getting, in lack of a better term, he's getting off on torturing Shaki here. He
Mm-hmm.
was having too much of a good time with the children, torturing the children, to be clear. Um, and I wonder if a lot of it is him just being like caught with his, again, lack of a better term, his pants down. And I wonder if, there's a point where we do see him get serious or something.
I don't know. I kind of like
Hard
that.
to
I
say.
see what you're saying. I hope we pull something here because as now, like I've made it clear, I'm kind of disappointed with how like cocky asshole he is, but has nothing to back it up with. But I would like for him to eventually be like, okay, you know what? Tired of this. Cracks his neck, and now he's taking it seriously.
Hmm.
I could get behind that.
I do think, like, in this specific instance with this chapter, I think this is definitely more to prove and serve Rayleigh and Shaki's relationship, and that's why this is here.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I don't think that's enough to take down Summers, but I do think that we're probably, I don't know, probably done with the Summers for this part of the flashback at least.
Now, switching points, what I'm really looking forward to. We got a little map in this chapter where it says, the treasure's in the center of town, celestial dragons are escaping, and Roger and Rox are approaching from opposite directions.
Yep.
We know Garp is also honing in on Roger. It's
Hmm.
time. Like, next chapter is everybody meets at the center of town.
Yeah.
We're about to find out whatever the hell went down at God Valley.
Yeah, I mean, that's been probably the highlight of these last couple of chapters is seeing everyone show up and slowly start moving together. Like we even see Roger clashing with Whitebeard here towards the end of the chapter. Like it's happening like next chapter for sure. Uh so I'm very excited. I want to know with the Celestial Dragons escaping. Like clearly Summers is still in the center of the island, but like are there other holy knights that will step in, be involved with all this? Like what's up with that? You know?
I feel like we
Very
have to
excited.
get Emu Gunko, right? Like Gunko's on the island, Rox Roger are here, everything's in danger of being toppled.
Mm.
I mean, you know he's a Davy. You at least know he's a Davy worshiper. You know he's Gold D Roger. There's no way Emu doesn't show up at this point, right? Like especially
I
since we're
yeah,
around in the modern day, like we are the current antagonist of Elbaf. We need a reason in the flashback to really hate you. You know,
we need to build up
if we got
Emu a little more.
Dressrosa and Doflamingo's just there in the modern day but absent from the flashback, what does that even do? That's nothing.
Hmm. I don't know. I feel like you could get away with that. I think in this case we've had enough buildup of Emu, but like I
Emu
also
shows
think
up. Emu shows up.
I'm not saying he doesn't. They don't.
Domi Reversi rocks. Garp and Roger now have to take him down. That's how we get the modern day story.
A demon rocks. That'd be cool. Um,
But a
but
demon
yeah,
rocks
definitely.
when we've been told he's the most evil pirate in history, but we've been shown he was actually kind of a cool guy. He wasn't really that bad. A little chaotic, sure, but not evil.
Chaotic. Not necessary, not inherently evil.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's a reason
Um,
uh, Garp does not care about Rox being here. There's a reason, Roger has never sought out to like take on Rox because he can't stand him. He's just you're no one. You're not no one, but you're not an antagonist. You're just another guy.
well, I wouldn't go that far because like people say his name was probably just as well known as Roger. It's
Yeah,
just a different flavor of that. I think Garp's interest in Roger is a little bit I don't want to say personal, but like maybe it's more personal. Like, anytime they clash, it's like, oh shit, I kinda like fighting this guy,
yeah,
kind of
but
a thing.
if he's just as strong as Roger, and at this point I'm fully convinced Rox is even stronger than Roger. Why doesn't Garp care? Why is he here for Roger? It's we need
Well
a moment
that's
where
yeah.
Garps becomes the focal point. Garps, where Rocks becomes the focal point. And to have everyone turn on him, I need him to become fully evil. To do that, we need Domi Reversi. To do that, we need Emu. And now we know, why Rox was killed at God Valley, why Teach grew up evil. Now when allegedly Harold gets Domi Reversied, it's even more that all these great men in history just keep getting killed by Emu and setting the world back how many hundred years.
Hmm. Yeah. I can definitely see Emu showing up. I wonder I think if Emu does show up, it's not going to be through Gunko. I think they possess a different Holy Knight.
Uh,
I'll call my shot there.
Strong disagree. One, we saw Gunko in the flower room when Rox was there. Two, Gunko's title
Mm.
is like the sword of God. Like that is God's weapon who he can possess, or she, or whatever. That is like the body of Emu, so Emu never has to leave the Holy Land.
Are we positive that was Gunko in the flower room?
I mean, there's no outright confirmation, but immortality, same eyes, very likely.
Same eyes. Yeah, I just kind of assumed it was their mother. I mean, seeing Gunko at God Valley makes me think that maybe there's more credibility to that.
But regardless,
Uh,
we have Gunko confirmed as the Sword of God. Why would the Sword of God then possess just Hector over here instead?
I'm not doubting. I just don't remember that sort of God bit. She was a devoted blade of God.
Devoted Blade of
Uh,
God, that's what it is.
doesn't. Uh,
Look into the Japanese translation and all that. It's basically a play on the word prisoner, and it's both the word for sword and slave.
yeah.
It's you're the one possessed by God, brainwashed. Like that's and I think Emu. This might be a hot take. People might not like this. I think Emu might be trans. I think Emu is a
Mm,
biological man, but he's obsessed with women. Like we know his obsession with Lily, possessing Gunko. Like there's not a lot of strong evidence. I could very well be wrong, but it feels like Gunko wants to be a woman. To be clear, there's nothing wrong with that aspect of him. Uh, but I would not be surprised if he just wants to be Gonko, so he brainwashed her and possesses her body from time to time.
mm, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we see Emu call themselves Moo, like their own pronoun, kind of. So I don't know
Could
if I
also
go
just
that
be
far,
above
but
gender entirely.
that's kind of where my head's at. They're like, yeah, some
Whatever
sort
it
of primordial
is,
being. Yeah,
I think shit gets out of hand here. Gongo gets possessed. Emu Domi reverses Rocks, and now we have a showdown where they had to team up to stop Rocks.
yeah.
Which
Because
just,
you're right.
if Rocks got away here, if he pulled it all off, he absolutely could have taken down the whole world. We know
Hmm.
Emu's gonna have to step in before that happens and ultimately prevent it from happening. And then that gives
Yeah.
us reason to hate Emu in the modern day, aside from being the big bad.
Yeah. Yep. I do think something like that will happen because yeah, I mean, all the stories we've heard about God Valley is Whitebeard and Roger teaming up, or not sorry, not Whitebeard,
Yeah,
Garp and Roger teaming up to take down Rocks,
yeah,
and I
to
don't see
save
that
the
happening
celestial
right now.
dragons. Yeah, we need him to be evil. Right now, Shaki's off the island or going to get off the island. All that's left is stealing some treasure that he's not interested in. Honestly, he's only here for his wife and kid.
Right. Now, could it what okay. To be clear, I think I fall pretty firmly with you in that Gunko's gonna Domi Reversi Rocks. But what if like we don't know for sure that Rocks doesn't have a devil fruit, right?
I guess we don't have ultimate confirmation on that.
Like I'm just wondering if there's, I'd say maybe a 20% chance versus like the 80% that Gunko gets involved, but 20% chance that Rox just gets so upset that maybe he thinks his wife and kid are killed, and maybe his wife is killed. I don't know, but then he just kind of like lashes out or something, and then becomes a big enough threat on his own that Garp and Roger have to team up or something. It's a possibility. I'm only throwing it out there. Is that?
So what just clicked for me is that Teach is on the island and so is Whitebeard. We
Hmm.
know Teach and Shanks are pretty good mirrors of each other, so I think Teach goes with Whitebeard from here.
Yeah, I think I was thinking that, and I,
Because
I did see
what
some
are the odds
people.
we run into him again later?
Yeah, not very good. And if Blackbeard, sorry, Teach gets out of here, he's probably going to be with other civilians that are evacuating. I don't see them ever crossing paths with Whitebeard through that result.
Mm-hmm. But
So I think
so
you're right.
digging deeper into this, uh, so he leaves with Whitebeard, who just a couple of years from this down the road, well, not a couple, but a few, adopts the man who killed his father's son and says, "You're my favorite son now. I'm gonna make you the king of the pirates." Like that
Hmm.
adds a lot to when Teach decided, "I'm gonna kill you, take the fruit, and then kill you," and it's just watching him spiral from that moment.
Yeah,
Like
it just yeah,
really
having
makes
him
you
be the son
wonder
of
if there
Rocks.
was ever a moment where he was happy being Whitebeard's son, or if it was all an act always.
Yeah, honestly, that yeah, I really like that. He grows up. Well, I guess we know he doesn't grow up happy because we see him in like that
Yeah,
one panel that Oda drew of him. He's
but
like a child and he's crying, and he doesn't sleep.
yeah,
We know
maybe
that.
from
But,
like 14 to 18 he was happy and everything was going smooth. And then along comes
hmm.
Ace and his father is dead. The father he thought he had betrayed him. His father's killer is now his brother. What if he just can't take it anymore? And that's the moment where he's like, screw it. Dad was right. I'm taking down the whole world.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being the straw that broke the camel's back, and it's like not even a straw; it's like a fucking anvil. But
I
um,
like that a lot. I think though we have had confirmation that the whole thing was an act. but I guess that could either be a
That's true.
miswrite or a retcon. We could move past that.
Yeah, I
But
think
I
that can easily
really
be. Yeah.
kind of hope like he was on a redemption arc until Ace showed up.
Honestly, I do like the idea that I think as far as who Blackbeard is, I kind of almost think it would be better if he wasn't ever good. I think I like him being the antithesis of what Luffy is and not having a family, you know what I mean?
So I'm
Uh,
actually ever since this flashback, I am pretty heavily convinced Teach is not as evil as we think he is. Like
mm,
I
yeah.
fully Emu's the final villain in my books. I think
Mm,
Teach, like obviously we're gonna need some kind of showdown with. We can't just let him walk away.
right.
But I think it's gonna be one of those things where we're not punching him because he's Kaido and he's oppressing Wano, but we're
Hmm.
punching him because he's Bellamy and he's tired of having his strings pulled by Doflamingo, and you need to kill me and just take me down.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see it. I could see it.
That being said, Lafitte absolutely up to stuff. I told you my Lafitte theory the other day. Strings
Hmm.
being pulled by him. He's absolutely pure blooded evil. Can't convince me otherwise. He's got wings.
He's got two wings and no arms.
It's some
No, I
combination of
agree.
like I got things there, but yeah, so I think, along the lines of Obito, like super evil up until the last arc when we realized, oh, not that evil, but you've been being manipulated, and now there's a big evil behind you we got to deal with.
Hmm.
Not saying I would love that, but I think like I feel that. I think we're getting the reveal of Teach is just misunderstood and been being lied to.
Yeah. I mean, I could totally see it. I think Luffy being more than what they're letting on, I think is certainly compelling, and there's a lot to back that up. So yeah, I could totally see that.
But yeah, so with that in mind, I put Emu as the final villain, and Teach as just the Rocks, who now like a generation later we have to give the redemption arc to. You weren't evil like the world said. Let's be friends. Let's have a glass of milk together.
Yeah, somehow give him his get back for his dad being
Mm-hmm.
completely erased from the
Mm-hmm.
world, essentially.
But yeah, not
I could see that.
necessarily defeating him slash killing him, but rising above him. A la the Katakuri fight, where it's fought with
Hmm.
respect and a mutual admiration at the end. That seems like a stretch. We did directly
Mm.
lead to Ace's death, and then stabbed Whitebeard in the back a lot. Also attacked Shanks. Like there's gonna be retribution. I don't want to sound like we're going soft on him, but I think we're not gonna have the throwdown of the big antagonist that everybody's expecting.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say too, kind of moving away from Blackbeard a little bit. I really appreciate how much attention Dragon's getting here. Uh, because like the meme with Dragon is, he shows up in One Piece for like 1,000 episodes, just stands there, aura farms a little bit, and does nothing. Um, we're finally getting a little bit more of what makes him tick. We're getting the exact reason why he left the Navy to begin with. Um, and showing him that no, he's not just all talk. He actually does want to help people. He's not just some dude with a tattoo that runs the Revolutionary Army.
See, what I don't get, why doesn't Garp care at all that he's here? Like
I
we
don't think
get
he
the
knows.
debt. I do. You're a vice admiral. You didn't know your son was going to God Valley.
I don't think he knew that. I genuinely don't think he would.
I don't know. Your son didn't tell you. Like it's possible he is entirely unaware, but it feels weird that there's supposed to be this big emotional lingering thread, and it's just like, oh, I didn't know he was there. That's my bad. Whoops.
Yeah, and my whole thing is like I don't think I mean Garp seems like he couldn't have told you where Dragon is on any given day to day, and I don't think
I
Dragon was the kind
suppose
of
that's
type
fair.
who would tell him that. So it's very easy for me to believe that, Garp didn't know that Dragon was here and vice versa. I mean, Garp wasn't supposed to be here to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. So, yeah, it's easy for me to put those together, but I do appreciate it. Yeah. It does make me wonder then too, like if this was enough to turn dragon, like why wasn't it enough for Garp? You know, maybe maybe it says something to Garp that he believes he can help more people this way than by doing what Dragon does. I don't know. Um, but I don't know, there's something here. There's something here. I want more
There's a
dragon.
lot here. We need next chapter already. Come on now.
Mhm. Yeah,
Uh,
very solid chapter.
Shout out to the panel of Rayleigh right before he attacks. God, what's his name? Summers.
Summers.
Just the fucking shadow figure that okay, he's here. Bad shit's gonna happen. You're in trouble now.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
I
obviously.
mean, Garp looked great with his shaded in. Linling, you'd
Hmm.
call that fire. But there is something
Yeah,
imposing about the Dark King behind you, ready to take his kill shot.
yeah, and like he's only got one sword, but I'm pretty sure we've seen Zoro do that exact same pose at some point, but with like two more swords.
Sometimes three, I believe. But yeah, no, it's like,
Yeah,
is that
it's
the
it's
stance he
it's Zoro.
uses for Onigiri, more or less?
It's very close. His offhand doesn't have a sword. Is a little
Well,
bit
yeah,
too low,
yeah,
and his
yeah, yeah.
other hand's a little too high, but more or less, yeah,
Sweet.
it's cool. Rayleigh fans keep on winning.
Rayleigh fans keep on winning. I am so sorry about Scupper Gabon. Like, he's not an outright disappointment, but he definitely isn't Rayleigh.
The problem is we've introduced him at a point where like we can't have enemies be one shot anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like a big part of it because I think he's Rayleigh's level. We just
Like,
haven't really had a
oh
chance to
yeah,
see
no, no,
that.
no, and that's exactly it. Like, I fully believe he is the legend. There's a reason, he gets to say I was the second strongest, not the third. Like, he's the Sanji to
Hmm.
the Zoro.
Hmm.
I don't want to downplay him, but when we met Rayleigh, you're right. He showed up and then came back out of the blue to hold off Kizaru, and holy shit, he can touch
Hmm.
Kizaru, let alone
Hmm.
hold him off. Oh my
Right.
god!
Right.
But now, okay, see you in Dressrosa. Like, go there and take on an admiral. It's not that big a deal.
No. Right. Yeah. It's yeah a matter of scale and in time. Like
Mm-hmm.
he shows up and he's able to actually wound Summers, and I think that's kind of the
Yeah,
parallel to Rayleigh like kicking Kizaru. It's like, oh shit, we can hurt these people. Like.
and like you're absolutely right because cut him and why's my hand not growing back?
Hmm.
But you're right. We can't just one shot him. We can't have Gabon be 100 times stronger than Luffy anymore, because that would just break the world. Why isn't Gabon saving everyone?
Right. Yeah.
And just now that we're on their level, he doesn't feel like that big of a legend.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, he's not killing anyone, he's not defeating anyone. He's really hurting someone, and that's impressive in and of itself for what
Mm-hmm.
these people are. But like, it's not as impressive comparatively to when Rayleigh was
Yeah.
doing his stuff.
So yeah, I don't doubt Scopper Gabon, but I do. I feel sorry for his and therefore Sanji fans.
Yeah.
Like, you
Well,
guys,
I
you're
mean,
not getting a lot to work with.
yeah. Uh, but what was I gonna say? Oh, I want to give a quick shout out to Shaggy kicking Summers in the shoulder like that. That looks an awful lot like Hancock kicking someone.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, very good chapter. Still don't have a name for that Holy Knight with the gun, unless I'm blanking on that.
I know we're in the Myanmar family. I don't think we have a name confirmed.
Hmm. I thought that was Gunko. Maybe I'm
Gunko
tripping.
is, I believe, also Myanmar.
Oh, so they're both okay. All right, all right,
Yeah,
all
it
right.
turns out
I can accept
families
that.
have more than one member.
What? But surely they can't have like more than like 10 siblings, right? Like 80 siblings, that's not possible, right?
It's locked in. It's 10 is the cap. Everybody knows
10's the
that.
cap.
Everybody knows that. All right, I don't think I have any more thoughts on the chapter here. Like, it's good, but I feel like we haven't had too much development. Like, we know Shanks and Shamrock got separated. This is just how that happens.
Yeah.
We know Rox, Whitebeard, Roger all converge here. This is just showing the convergence coming soon. We know Shaki doesn't die. We got confirmation that she doesn't die. Like
Hmm.
a lot of good, cool moments, but nothing mind blowing. Nothing like, oh, we weren't expecting that.
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot of new information. Yeah, we're just seeing the pieces move closer
Mm-hmm.
to coming together.
Yeah, nothing
Getting a
wrong with
name
it.
for getting a name for Maffey finally. I think I say finally, not like we were all
Finally,
on the edge
like
of our
we were
seats.
introduced like a week ago.
I mean, we've seen her before like multiple times, but like it's good getting a name. I like getting names for these characters, but yeah, nothing too crazy. It's a lot of aura farming, I
Yeah,
think, like
a
between
lot
the
of
Rocks
aura
Pirates
farming.
panel, Garp, Rayleigh. Yeah, good chapter though. This is what I want out of this out of seeing the God Valley incident, and I think we'll get the rest of what I'm looking for with the next few chapters.
Actually, sorry, one more thought I've had pop up now. I dislike, not a whole lot, but I do dislike that Mappy's like, the baby's safe and sound. And someone's like, oh, the babies are safe and sound. And they
Hmm.
just don't hear the difference, and that's how we get one and not the other. That feels a little lazy to me. That you didn't think to clarify. Are you saying babies or baby is? Like, it's the
Well,
boy's soul thing all over again.
it really is, and I think we kind of see a little bit of Buffy through that. I think we see that her say, "Well, the kidnapper's got to be dead by now," and
Yeah, I guess that's very.
I,
Real quick. I'd also like to point out. So she's like, "Oh, Summers as a kid, who would have guessed? Baby's safe. I'm coming back." Then we get
mhm.
Summers later in the chapter. Did I say Summers? Shamrock as a kid, Garling, whoever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, then we get Summers later, like, if we don't fucking tell Garling, no one will ever know. I'm gonna kill her and we're gonna call it an accident. They don't seem to like or respect each other at all. Like, even as celestial dragons, I thought they'd all view themselves on equal footing, but they are
Hmm.
constantly, like, just at odds with each other. There is no camaraderie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally see what you're saying. Yeah, there's definitely some disrespect from Summers, which honestly I kind of expect from him at
Yeah.
this point. But
But now that I'm
yeah,
seeing it come from other Holy Knights, it's like, oh, okay, so we're just, you happen to all have guns pointed in the same direction, but you're not necessarily friends.
you're not actually friends, right? Yeah. Yeah, I do think that's a good thing to call out here because yeah, we've seen a little bit of that I think in current day Elbaf, but like seeing it more clearly here, I think is yeah important. Yeah, no, I don't really have any other thoughts on this
Yeah,
chapter, but I'm very because yeah, not like you said, not a whole lot of news, startling revelations, but this was a good chapter nonetheless. I think.
through and through. Can't wait to see what other devil fruits are on this island. But if you
Mhm.
guys want to see our thoughts on 1162, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification, and we'll see you next time.
Go bye.